Okay, so today I'm going to run through how to disassemble and solder the wires to the TZ85A ESC. So first of all, we'll just check if we've got everything. Let's go got our ESC here, the 6-pin IDC header, pair of side cutters, 2mm Allen key, wire strippers if you need them, and a pair of EC3 plugs. I also have underneath here the picture of the ESC with the pinout on it, and on the screen behind me I have the pinout for the IDC header. Okay, so firstly, unboxing. So this has just come straight from the post. So manual, you don't need that. Box. So here's our ESC. So first thing you'll notice, there's four Allen key bolts which hold the top on. So you want to crack that open. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to peel off the heatsink. It's stuck to the ESC with thermal tape, so we can just lift that out and see it sticks to it. So I want to peel it off just as carefully as possible without tearing or moving the heat tape. So yeah, so we just peel that off. Sometimes it stays on the ESC, sometimes it stays on the heatsink. In this case it stayed on the ESC, that's fine. Just make sure it doesn't get crap on it when you're working. So the next thing we want to do is we want to grab our IDC cable, and we want to just cut that in half. Okay, so we're now going to use one half of this other one could be for your other ESC. So the next thing we want to do is just split the 6 wires. Just down about 20 or 30 millimeters. Just so we've got enough to work with. Okay, so I've got these 6 here. So now we want to strip each of these. I've got a pair of wire strippers. If you don't have wire strippers, that's fine, but it makes the job a bit easier. Okay, and then just pin them down so there's only about 2 millimeters of each wire left. Okay, so now that's our header ready to go. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is tin the pins on the ESC. So the ground pin is usually quite hard to solder to, so I usually solder to the RC wire. So I just tin the 5 of these. You don't have to tin the RC wire. It's okay. So that's those 5. Okay, then we want to match up these wires to these pins. So if you've got your ISP header diagram handy, now the red wire is always pin 1, so that's MISO. Then if we look on our diagram here, that corresponds to this one here next to the chip. So we just solder that on there. Just like that. Okay, and that's the first one. So we just proceed to go through and match up the wires. So pin 2 is voltage, so that goes to this one down here. Pin 3 is SCK, there's that one up here. Pin 4 is MOSI, which is this one here. Pin 5 is reset, which is the last one, last exposed pad. And ground, pin 6, which goes to the this is generally a bit tricky to solder too. Because it's on the ground plane. So just be patient and check that it's attached properly before you move on. Okay, so that's before I do that, I'll also cut off port C. We're going to be using A and B. You might want to leave this attached for later, just in case, but I'm going to trim it off. It's easier to, you can unsolder it, just a lot easier to just cut the wire. Okay, so that just pushes back in. Got our programming cable here at the end. Now if I just put the heatsink back on and screw that back down, it's ready to go on the programming. Before I do that, another thing which you might want to do is just bridge this wire here. It's connected to a switch, and if you're using it, which is handy sometimes, but if you're using it in a combat application, it can just switch off by itself. So I'm just going to cut that off and put a bridge over that. So just using this bit of wire, it's going to make a little bridge and solder that on there so that it's always on. Okay. Okay, so that's that back together. The last thing I'm going to do is solder on some EC3 plugs, and then it's ready to move on to program.